Welcome to Breaking In, where I interview people who broke into Wall Street from unconventional paths. Today, I talk with Vincent Lo, an immigrant from Taiwan who spoke zero English, moved to the United States at age 15, had a family tragedy keep him out of the recruiting cycle senior year of college, graduated and was unemployed for 1 year, eating $1 McDonald's meals and fielding 1,200 rejections. Near bankruptcy, he never gave up. Learn how he kept going and got a job as a Buyside analyst.
It's a tough process, but I went from a kid that doesn't know a word of English, never got an A in English class in high school and college, to someone reading a book a day and writing investment pitches for fun on weekends. I go to a local stock brokerage with my mom, following the market, see what's on the screen. I got interested in the equity market at a young age. I had a dream breaking into Wall Street. When you see Wall Street on TV, you think of this glamorous place, and the work they are doing is amazing. I had the passion, the dream of breaking in, but I know it was a tall order. This dream will become tough to fulfill. I had the odds stacked against. I was an immigrant, the first generation college student. When my family moved to the States when I was 15, I did not speak a word of English.
What about the year that you were unemployed coming out of college?
That was crazy. I had to eat McDonald's $1 meal every day to save. It was tough. There was not many Buyside openings. I remember I only had $500 left in my savings. I'm about to go bankrupt. I checked my LinkedIn. I got 1,200 rejections. It's probably more than that. Back when I was in college, I know you have to network, but I was too shy. I realized, forget the baggage, do it, don't be shy. My English is still not that great. A family emergency took place before I graduated, and that threw me out of the recruiting side. Coming out of a non-target school at UCSD, being full-time jobless for over a year doesn't help recruiting efforts. Most interview people wouldn't give the benefit of the doubt.
When you were in college at UCSD, is that when you started working on investment pitches in our investment club, or when did you get so focused on investment pitches?
Yes, my first meeting with you was eye-opening. That was the first time I understand the investment pitch and investment process. I get to practice with you how to pitch a stock. What are the things that you need to focus on? Because PM time is limited, you need to get straight to the point. I was working 60 hours a week. I still take a couple investment related side jobs and studying for the CFA. I was working 80, 100-hour weeks. I finally get to see my path. I was at my CFA level 3. I'm in New York. I'm meeting a lot of people in the investment field. I'm starting to get interest from recruiter, even though I'm not in the investment industry. I started investing in high school because my mom thought it would be a good idea for me to learn English. I follow news and businesses. It's a good way to learn. It was a perfect timing. I started right before the global financial crisis hit. It was a humbling experience. I lost a lot of money. That led me to take investing discipline more seriously. That's when I got exposed to value investing. That changed my life. I live my life following this philosophy, looking for spots that the market doesn't typically look at. When I go grocery shopping, I look for value.
Welcome to Breaking In, where we talk to people who have broken into Wall Street from unconventional paths. Today we have Vincent Lo. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Emmy. Hi, everybody. Happy to be here.
So let's start with where you are now. After graduating college?
7 years in, my path is unconventional. Now I work for the Irvine Company, equity division as equity analyst. It's a family office. We have a small team of 9 people and 4 analysts.
How did you get this opportunity?
Growing up in Taiwan, I go to a local stock brokerage with my mom, following the market, see what's on the screen. I got interested in the equity market at a young age. I was in Taiwan. I had a dream of breaking into Wall Street, because when you Wall Street on TV, you think of this glamorous place, and the work they are doing is amazing. I had the passion, the dream of breaking in, but I know it was a tall order. This dream would become tough, but eventually I got here. I had the odds stacked against. I was an immigrant, the first generation college student when I was 15. My family moved to the States. I did not speak a word of English. I couldn't even order food at the restaurant. In high school, reading 15 pages of novel would take me about an hour because I have to Google and translate everything. But that never stopped me. Every decision I've made since then has been to break into the investing. I started investing while I was in high school because my mom thought it would be a good idea for me to learn English. I will follow news and businesses. It's a good way to learn. It was perfect timing. I started right before the global financial crisis hit, and it was a humbling experience. I lost a lot of money that led me to take investing discipline more seriously. That's when I got exposed to value investing. That changed my life. I live my life following this philosophy, looking for spots that the market doesn't typically look at. When I go grocery shopping, I look for value. I want it to be different. My personality changed a lot. Because of this passion for investing, when I was in high school, I was confident about myself, but shy about speaking English because I feel people will pick up my accent. But in college, that investing passion changed me a lot. I never partake in any school activity back in high school, but after I got into college, I became involved in all finance club, investment clubs on campus. That's how I got to meet you. I also manage UC San Diego's $500,000 investment portfolio for students. Through networking, I had the opportunity to intern for McKinsey & Company in Shanghai and later a deep value hedge fund, seeded by Michael Burry. It's a tough process, but I went from a kid that doesn't know a word of English, never gotten an A in English class in high school and college, to someone reading a book a day and writing investment pitches for fun on weekends. I was ready to enter investing, and unfortunately, a family emergency took place before I graduated, and that threw me out of the recruiting cycle. Coming out of a non-target school at UCSD, being full-time jobless for over a year doesn't help you recruiting efforts. Most jobs interview, people wouldn't give you the benefit of the doubt.
What did you say about the year that you were unemployed coming out of college?
There was a crazy time. I had to eat McDonald's $1 meal every day to save money. But I told myself there's lights at the end of the tunnel. I gotta keep working, get out of my comfort zone and trust the process. It works for many people who also came from a non-traditional background. I think I work harder than most people because I'm genuinely passionate about investing. I got my CFA. I spend my free time networking, following the market, and researching ideas. But it didn't go smooth. I got my first job as a financial analyst, a publicly traded healthcare company. It's not exactly the job I wanted, but I thought this would be a good time for me to see how a company operates.
What did you do at that job?
I got to sharpen up my Excel skills. I was doing a lot of Excel work on financial modeling. It gave me the time to sharpen up my Excel skills with the advanced functions, Excel shortcuts. I was able to use Excel without using the mouse. Everything is shortcuts on keyboards. And I was efficient.
Was that job FP&A, financial planning and analysis?
Yes, there was entry-level FP&A with a focus on the revenue side.
Even if you don't get into Wall Street right away, this is another path to learn the inner workings of a company, sharpen your Excel skills, and get an entry-level position at a financial firm. When did you get the opportunity to get in?
About a year and a half into the job, I had saved enough money. I decided to do something crazy. I quit my job to chase my dream. Through co-emailing and referral, I got deep into the recruiting process with Brandis, one of the most value funds in Southern California. The super day, there are 16 people. After the interview, they told me they are hiring 4 people, and I'm 5th on the wait list. I lose 2 people. They came from an Ivy League pedigree, bulge bracket, internship, full-time experience, a stronger background. This type of thing happened over and over again. I started questioning my decisions. It's not normal to quit your full-time job and chase a dream. At the time, I feel super bad about myself. I had no confidence. I was in a bad mental state. I need a reset. I decided to travel to Nepal alone and lock myself in a temple. I need to step away from that mental state and challenge myself to do something out of my comfort zone, so I can tell myself you can still accomplish something. You are still good. You are brave. I told myself I need to be more flexible. If this is what I wanted to do, it doesn't matter how I get there. Don't be, I wanted to go there now. My next job has to be in investing on the side, on sales side. I have to keep a more open mind. After I got back with a fresh mindset, I started networking even more aggressively. I started reaching out to people on LinkedIn, cold messaging them and ask them to speak with me, to share their experience with me, to get an idea of what's out there and what I can do to best position myself.
You're doing all this cold outreach. Was anybody mean? Did anybody say, I'm not talking to you, you're wasting my time? What was the best advice?
I had a lot of setback. Every 100 message I sent, I will get 10 response. Only one of them will talk to you. What I learned is you have to be persistent. It's a numbers game, and all you need is one person. The best advice they've given me is that I need to brush out my investment skills and find ways to set myself apart. I put together an investment pitch book that's 20 pages long. It contains all my personal notes, my thoughts on different type of investments. I'll write a piece on the macroeconomy. I have a binder full of this. I take it to interview. That's what set myself apart. Most people say they wanted to do investing, but they don't actually do it on their free time.
Is that when you broke into, how did you get that opportunity?
I went to the Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholder meeting in Omaha. I met someone who's also in the Pasadena area. I got for coffee with him. He told me about this private investment clubs filled with professionals in the field. Through that investment clubs, I met someone at FPA. He introduced me to the internship opportunity there. It was a life-changing experience. It gave me the confidence that I can do the job. And second, this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. The PM told me that the best intern they have ever had, but unfortunately, there are no openings at the time. Interns get paid minimum wage, and I had to do that for a year. So I was burning through my savings and hoping to find a door into the industry.
What was your day like working as an intern for your first buy-side firm?
Unique experience. I didn't do any work an intern would do. They treat me as a normal analyst. They give me a name to cover every other week. I would start digging into it.
You were doing true fundamental analysis?
I have to pitch to my VPs, my PM. I was part of the team. I'm thankful for this opportunity.
First, you end up doing quite a lot of Excel entries.
That's part of the skills I built up when I was jobless. I'm following the market, trying to put together pitches so that I can realize the investments.
When you were in college at UCSD, is that when you started working on investment pitches in our investment club? When did you get so focused on investment pitches?
Yes, my first meeting with you was eye-opening. That was the first time I understand the investment pitch and investment process. I get to practice with you how to pitch a stock. What are the things that you need to focus on? Because PM time is limited.
It's an amazing experience, but they don't have any job openings. Your savings is running down. Were they willing to keep you on for that low wage? What was the choices there?
They're willing to keep me on, but at the same time, they know it's hard to sustain a living being paid minimum wage. And they help me with my recruiting effort. Wherever there's opening, they refer me. They help me prep for my interview. It was tough. There was not that many openings on the buy side. I remember I only have $500 left in my savings account. The time when I'm about to go bankrupt, Sam, who's also from the investment club you host at UCSD, reached out to me. He knows my situation. He told me that they have an opening at their management consulting firm. In New York, there are more opportunity. It's easier when you are there to interview and network with people. I moved to New York. I took the management consulting job at Apico. Apico would help large traditional business create a startup to help play defense against large tech company like Amazon. It was an exciting opportunity. I was working 60 hours a week. I take a couple investment related side jobs. I was studying for the CFA. I was working 100 hour weeks. I finally see my path. I was at my CFA level 3. I'm in New York, meeting a lot of people in the investment field. I'm starting to get interest from recruiter, even though I'm not in the investment industry.
If you move over to management consulting, Did you worry that you'd get used to having the paycheck and not be able to break back into Wall Street?
I'm super focused. I had a couple investment-related side jobs.
What job?
One is to write an investor newsletter that goes out to 2,000 Buyside professionals that compile all the important news and interviews happening within the investment community. The other side job is part-time sell-side research role. They publish my research and I get to screen my own names, select the name I wanted to cover, and write a report on it. It's called The Singular Research. It's a smaller sell-side shop. It helped me get more recognition and stay in shape with my research.
How did you find those two opportunities, writing the newsletter and writing sell-side reports?
I check the CFA job board every day to see if there are any part-time opportunities that I can do on the side. The newsletter job, I got it through networking. I co-network with someone that knows someone that's looking for an analyst that can help out with the newsletter. Back when I was in college, I know you have to network, but I was too shy to do it. What I realized is forget about all the baggage, do it, don't be shy. My English is still not that great.
Network like your life depends on it.
Every decision I made, all the free time I spend is on investing. I checked my LinkedIn, I got 1,200 rejections. It's probably more than that. I call email a recruiter. Hey, I'm in management consulting now. I'm still interested in breaking into the equity research space. Here's a work example. I know how to build a model from scratch. I can do it quick. I write investment pitch on my free time. I have this side job. I completed my CFA. The recruiter, oh cool, we have an opening with the middle market investment bank in New York. They're looking for a research associate that can help initiate coverage on the cannabis industry. I think that sounds exciting, fast, rapidly growing space. I would love to try that. I know I can do the work. I'm still as passionate as I was from day one. I got the job. Finally, I got to Wall Street.
Tell me, what is a middle market Wall Street firm? You're covering cannabis. Tell me what a day in the life is like.
A middle market investment bank do the mid-size. As an equity research associate covering the cannabis industry, I follow the news flow. I need to know firsthand what is going on because it's changing all the time. Regulation changes every day. Companies' footprint changes. There's exciting things to write about. Similar to the work I'm doing today, I will go into the office every morning, following the news, and write short notes of things we wanted to get published that day to inform our investor what is going on, what are the big news, what are the companies to follow. Then I'll spend the rest of my day initiating coverage on names. My boss is nice. He's let me put together most of the research content and give me feedback. I'll fix that, shoot that back to him, and then we'll do adjustments on the models. Sometimes we'll do calls with management, visit the management team together to get our question addressed by the management team. When earnings comes around, it's listening to earnings calls, updating notes, preparing an industry piece to update investors what is going on.
Firms, an equity research associate doing Excel. It sounds like you were given more of a voice.
Especially bulge bracket shop, you'll be doing the modeling work and then they will give you pieces of the research to write. The upside of working for a smaller firm, you are giving a lot of responsibility. It's me and the analyst and we have to cover 20 names. So we need to do more. It's a better learning experience, even though the name recognition is not that big. We're enjoying working with each other. I keep in touch with my former bosses on a regular basis. I like to develop a strong relationship.
How did you get this current opportunity?
The universe is a magical thing. Everything came around. My internship boss at FPA called me out of the blue and asked me if I would like to interview for a Buyside role because his MBA classmate is looking for someone that's more junior to join the team. This is my dream. Of course I wanted to interview for the job. The most amazing thing is I report to two bosses. One of them is my former boss's classmate. The other one is a lot that I reached out to 7 years ago after I graduated. I asked them about what they do on a daily basis, how to best position myself on breaking into the industry. I visited his office. I grabbed coffee with him. It happened to be that he's the other hiring manager. He knows me. He knows I wanted to break into the industry and I pay my dues. The other hiring manager knows me. My former boss spoke highly of me. By the time I have the experience, I'm fully prepared. It was a smooth process. It was easy. The most magical thing, they hired 2 analysts. One is me. The other person is the person I interviewed with, Brandis, who has gotten the job.
The other person was one of the 4 that got the job at Brandis.
Sure.
What's it like to work for a family? What's your day like?
Compared to my experience at Wall Street, the family office setting is more laid back. Everybody's working on their own research. Every day I go into the office around 8:30 and I'll start reading the news on what's going on in the market, what's going on in our holdings, get more information and learn more about how the world works. That's what I usually do for an hour in the morning. And I will start diving into my research, reading transcripts, 10Ks, the 10Qs, read some sales side research notes, and start writing my research. It's usually a long process. It takes me about a month or 2 to write research from scratch. It's rewarding because you get to learn about different businesses, why they are successful, why is one company better than the other, even though they are doing the same thing. Every day is different. And if I have earnings call in the afternoon or in the morning, I would do that as well. And we usually have meetings twice a week to talk about our key findings. It's fun. I love the people that work. Everybody's smart.
After 1,200 rejections, 7 years of networking, nearly going bankrupt, you still believe that the universe is a perfect place. When you look at these 3, working at FPA, mutual fund company, working at a sell-side company as an analyst, and working at a family office, how do you compare those 3 career paths?
On the sales side, research is more standardized. You have to structure everything. You have to word the thing you're trying to say in a more conservative manner because you don't want it to get into regulatory troubles. On the sales side, it's more informative. You are trying to tell your clients, but broad overview of what's going on in the company, why is it good, why is it not. But on the buy side, you need to use your analytic skills to dive deep into the company to understand what they do, why are they good, why are they better than their competitor, why is this a good business, advantage is sustainable, why are you giving this company this valuation, why are you giving 10% growth rather than 12%. Whereas on the sales side, you follow the rules, follow what the management says, and value the company in a way that will make sense.
You still have a lot of family back in Taiwan. You have the Asia perspective. Do you see that helping you going forward as an investor?
It definitely helped me in 2 ways. This past 3 years, every time I go to Asia, I'm networking. I give a talk, my investment philosophy. I'm trying to meet more people in the industry. That's helped me a lot. Not that many people from Taiwan work on Wall Street, so I get to provide a unique insight.
Those opportunities to speak when you go back to Taiwan.
I asked my friend, who do you in Taiwan that's doing investing? And then start from one person to another. I meet a bunch of people. It's a small community. By this time, I know most of the people my age that's working in the industry. In the future, I wanted to run my own investment fund. Through networking, I meet the CEO or president of many banks or investment funds that will help me down the road in terms of fundraising. Being able to speak Mandarin helped me a lot because I researched Chinese names that are listed on the Hong Kong exchange. It's easier to find resources when you can research in different language. For example, in the semiconductor space, there's a lot more data in Chinese than in English. That helped me a lot. 2 years ago, I challenged myself. I downloaded an Excel spreadsheet with all the names listed on the Hong Kong exchange, and I went through the list one by one. I looked at more than 1,000 names.
Wow. Tell me where your future's headed.
In the future, I'll run my own investment partnership first, manage account, and grow that into a hedge fund structure one day. That's what I wanted to do. I don't see myself doing anything other than investing the rest of my life. This is what I wanted since I was a kid. I got here, and I will do that for the rest of my life.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Vincent. If you enjoyed watching this, I'll have more unconventional ways to break into Wall Street, so be sure and hit subscribe. Thanks again, Vincent.
Thank you, Amy.